Well, it's only a month in and we already got a huge content update for Resident Evil 4 with stuff that kinda should have been in the game in the first place, but we're not gonna go ass to mouth on this one.
I don't fuck around when it comes to ass to mouth.
You never go ass to mouth.
Because otherwise the game was a great remake and by far the best remake since the remake of 1, and if you want to check out my full review of the game, you can go check it out here with this shameless plug. And make sure to subscribe for stuff like this if you enjoy incoherent and drunken ramblings that make the subway creatures sound like well-spoken, functioning members of society. Now with this update, we got the Mercenaries mode and a free update along with some microtransactions that Capcom sneaked in there because they just really can't help themselves, can they?
I'm getting more wine.
No, help yourself. $36 a bottle. Please, enjoy it.
So before getting into Mercenaries, I want to just briefly touch on these microtransactions. You can now buy the exclusive upgrade tickets with real money. Yeah, as if the game didn't already paint everything with bright yellow paint to tell the player every little thing to do in obnoxious detail because Gen Z can't read a paragraph of text without Subway Surfer footage cropped horrendously under it. If you buy this shit, just have someone else play the game for you at that point. Pardon me while I stand on my soapbox for a second, but I remember the days of games like God Hands, where you would actually have to learn the game, and if you didn't, it would bully you to the point you're back on the playground getting pantsed by Robert Paulson in front of your crush. This crap is so scummy, and it's arguably the reason why games as a whole are getting a lot dumber now, and if you contribute to this by the power given to me by Allah, I will show up outside your house with a package. Now you might be saying, Mr. Pizza Man, it's a little early for Christmas, isn't it? Yeah, well, your Uncle Ted shipped this one overnight just for you. Trust me, open it. It's gonna blow your mind. Now, my general overview of the Mercenaries. There's now time pickups that are randomized instead of just set timers around the map. You get bonus time for each headshot you get. Rage mode is a new feature now that all the characters get. Essentially, Leon just does a lot of damage and moves faster, Lewis gets dynamite that he can place down, Krauser gets his mutation like in the original, and then Hunk gets infinite ammo. And let me tell you something about Hunk. Hunk is fucking tweaking. I mean, Jesus, he's so overpowered. His rage attack is literally infinite ammo, which you don't even need because since he only has the MP5, the ammo drops are only machine gun ammo and grenades. And Jesus, this MP5 must have been modified by an Archangel chugging battery acid because this thing friggin' melts. I didn't even know you could kill everything in the level until I played as him on my first try. I literally killed everything breathing oxygen and exhaling CO2 in the stage. I was feeling so friggin' powerful. I wish I could say the same about Krauser though. They made him extremely sluggish and rather tedious to play, which is a shame because his mutations in bow and arrow were always my favorite in the original next to Wesker and his powers. Going over some of the other features, now when you die, instead of just getting a game over and losing your score, you actually still keep your score and still finish the level, so this already makes things a lot easier. And overall, compared to the other Mercenaries of the previous entries, it was a little disappointing because of how easy it was. But at the same time, it was so much fun, I genuinely didn't even care because I felt like a god. The rage mode is really fun, and getting to bonk enemies with Lewis's pipe is pretty satisfying with his melee attack. Lewis's addition overall to the Mercenaries was really a great idea, and I'm really glad they put him in, and overall, between the main game and the Mercenaries, they gave much more thought to this character. The only bad things I can really come up with for this update are the cut content, which is a little annoying because it was already cut from the main game at release, and now it's being released like almost drip-fed. So we're missing Waterworld, and I know it seems like a nitpick, but Waterworld was a really cool map, and I know it's my personal favorite, and I know a lot of other people's as well with the zip lines and everything around the map. And it was just a really unique map because it also wasn't even in like the story at all. It was a completely original map. And then also no Ada and Wesker, which it seems like a lot of the cut content is riding on separate ways. So there's a rumor that Ada and Wesker are going to come to Mercenaries when the Separate Ways DLC comes out. And again though, I just think this stuff should have been included at launch. I think they're still skating on fairly thin ice like I mentioned in my full review of the game, because if Separate Ways is now a paid DLC, which again, I said sure fine because they're allegedly making it a lot longer, it would only become an issue if Ada and Wesker's Mercenaries characters are also locked behind said paywall despite their original inclusion in the game, no DLC. I think these characters should be free whenever they are added, regardless if Separate Ways becomes a paid DLC or not. Overall though, this game mode does seem very promising, and I feel like there's a lot of groundwork here for a really solid game mode as long as Capcom continues to support it with new maps, costumes, and characters, even beyond what was in the original, if they're willing to put in the effort, because some of this extra content that we've all been theorizing about might even be worth having the extra price tag on, especially if they added things like co-op. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments and give me a like and subscribe for more, or alternatively, I'll just assume you'd rather take the mail from Uncle Teddy.